Dr. Cowden. Says preparing Facebook Live. I'm just going to start recording now. Today is going to be a fun day. We're going to learn about how to restore our brain. So fasten your seatbelts. We're going to learn and grow together. Here we go, Dr. Cowden. Remember, you've got to dance on my show. Here we go. There you go. Okay. So I am also talking to Zoom about my show. We're trying to go Facebook Live, but it's not cooperating. So maybe I need to turn off some stuff. If I clear that one. See, I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll just see what happens. Okay, am I live? Continue.
Okay, yeah, I was able to successfully do it twice.
Here we go.
Here on my
Okay, I got to put you on mute.
At whenyouneedafriend.com.
Okay.
Now let's all learn together. Here's Lillian McDermott.
Hello, my listening friend. It's so nice we can meet each other on the air on this beautiful, best day ever. And for those of you who are tuning in, been tuning in for the last 7 years or just stumbled upon the show yesterday, I am glad that you are back. But if this is the first time that you hear the Lillian McDermott radio show, just know I've been waiting for you. We've been waiting for you. Just know that nothing is an accident. Everything has purpose, and there's a reason why you tuned in today. So please know that this is a safe place you can go to when you need a friend. And it is my commitment to provide alternative ways to heal, and it is my mission to make awareness, responsibility, and truth a part of our everyday life. And I hope you, my listening, as well as my viewing friends, will feel empowered to embrace a new truth and live the life of your dreams. In order to embrace a new truth, you must risk being wrong. It's okay. It's okay that the truths that we learned when we were little may not support you anymore. So today we're going to dive into the brain. As you know, just recently I was diagnosed with post-traumatic brain injury, and they called a little tumor that's growing in my head a freckle, which is just so many things that we can look at and say, oh my God, I am my disease. I am doomed. Or you can look at it and say, this is a warning sign. My body is speaking to me. What is it saying? Well, today we have the greatest interpreter for your body that I've ever met. It's Dr. Lee Cowden. World-renowned integrative physician, Dr. Lee Cowden has made it his mission to teach other doctors about alternative ways to heal. Dr. Cowden is a U.S. board certified cardiologist, clinical nutritionist, and internist. He is skilled in kinesiology and homeopathy. He will tell us about his conference in Orlando this weekend, this week coming up, starting on the 8th through the 10th. The 8th and 9th and 10th, I believe, is for doctors, and the 9th and 10th are for the general public, which guess who's going to be there? Me. Okay, so this conference today, this week, is about brain health, brain regeneration. And we're going to talk about how we can get our brain back now. And since it is our sole purpose in life to give and receive love and knowledge, I am so grateful that Dr. Lee Cowden is back to do just that. Welcome, Dr. Cowden, to the Lillian McDermott radio show.
Yeah, good morning. Good to be on your show again.
It's so crazy. It's been, we've been trying to do this Facebook Live, and every time I go on, the streaming is crazy, but we'll see if we can get it done today. And so tell us a little bit about your background, Dr. Cowden, and how you went from a traditional, conventional, regular MD, that there's nothing wrong with that, allopathically trained, to alternative ways to heal.
The biggest change occurred in my first couple of months in medical school. I was raised in West Texas, arid climate, and went to Houston to medical school. And I'd only been in Houston a short time when I developed allergies to all the stuff that's in the air there, the grass, the weeds, the molds, the fungus, and everything else.
Yeah.
And progressed from allergic rhinitis to allergic sinusitis, and from there to infective sinusitis, and then from there to bronchitis pneumonia. I followed the advice of the 3 different medical school department heads and got progressively worse, following their directions explicitly. And thank goodness my wife's grandmother came to visit us, and she took me to the health food store, got me on some vitamins, minerals, and herbs, and I got well. And I thought, my goodness, I need to learn what this woman knows, and I need to take with a grain of salt everything I learned in the training institution after this.
You said your wife's grandmother or your wife's mother?
Grandmother.
Grandmother. So it all started with wisdom. It all started because that's where we used to be back a long time ago before the pharmaceutical industry was created. We used to use nature and what was of the earth to heal our bodies. Why do you think that we have changed from what was created in our life to heal us to a synthetic pill that may or may not get us better?
Unfortunately, it's all about the money. Back in early 1900s, J.P. Morgan, Carnegie, Rockefeller, and others put $500 million of money into a foundation to discredit all types of medicine other than pharmaceutical medicine. So they hired a Dr. Flexner to analyze the quality of teaching in all the teaching institutions across the United States. And amazingly, he found those that were good quality were those that were teaching pharmaceutical medicine, and the ones that weren't teaching pharmaceutical medicine were inferior quality. And after he finished his study, the foundation paid for him to go to each of the medical boards in all the states and to convince them that they should not accept for licensure any doctor that came from any school other than his approved schools.
Wow.
So in less than 20 years, all of the other schools basically went bankrupt because they couldn't get any students. Students wouldn't go through the schools because they couldn't get licensure.
And so that is what we are all joining to each other to go in a more natural way. And we're going to continue our conversation with Dr. Lee Cowden when we return worldwide at whenyounneedafriend.com. We'll be right here waiting for you.
You can text Lillian McDermott.
Okay. We're going to get to the nitty-gritty now about the conference.
Once again, here's Lillian.
Welcome back to the Lillian McDermott radio show. And unfortunately, you won't be able to hear us Facebook Live. We're going to have to figure out some kinks. The first time went without a hitch, but this time we've got to figure out what's going on. But for those of you who are listening on the radio, guess what? You get to go. If you are, I would say, the 6th call. No, I'm going to do 7th caller or texter. 7th caller or texter, 407-373-5959. You will get 2 tickets, one for you, one for a guest, to go to this conference. The conference is this weekend. For the general public, it would be the 8th, the 9th, and 10th. And so for those of you, be the 7th caller or texter, you will win. This is in Orlando. Let's talk about where the conference is first so that people know where they're going to be going. Dr. Cowden.
Right, yeah, it's at the Florida Hotel and Conference Center in Orlando, and that's not too far from the airport if they have to fly in. And it's going to be, as you said, the 9th and the 10th from about 8 o'clock in the morning till about 5 something in the evening. Both days, and it's going to be power-packed with information from, I think it's about 20 different presenters, doctors from all over the globe.
Yes, and so let's talk about the focus, because last year you guys had an incredible conference. You had the Doctors Who Rock gala at the end for the culmination. I got to meet some wonderful, wonderful healers. But let's talk about why you chose regeneration of the brain for this year.
Well, we're in an epidemic in the United States with brain disease. Autism has gone from 1 in 5,000 in 1980 to 1 in 36 now. Alzheimer's dementia has gone up exponentially in the last few years. Parkinson's, MS, ALS, a variety of other neurological diseases are all on the rise. And allopathic medicine doesn't really have any good answers for any of these. They give pharmaceutical drugs to cover up the symptoms, but really don't reverse any of these.
Yes.
In integrative medicine, we can reverse most of them. And so we want to teach the doctors that come to our conference how to do that. We want to teach the public that come to our public conference that that's possible, and get them to get, not just say, oh well, I've got this terminal disease, I've got this chronically incapacitating disease, I'm just got to live with it. That's not so.
That's right. That's right. And our bodies were created perfectly. And if we give our bodies what they need, what happens to the body when we give it exactly what it needs, Dr. Cowden?
Yeah, well, the body can heal. As long as an organ has not been surgically removed, or a limb surgically removed, then the body can repair itself, can heal. You just have to get the toxins out, get the right nutrients in, and make sure that the energy of the body is balanced.
Okay, so with that in mind, for those of you who would like to attend this conference, it's at the Florida Hotel Conference Center in Orlando. For the general public, they're opening this. It's Dr. Cowden is teaching other doctors, other holistic practitioners, healthcare practitioners. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be checking it out as well. And it's November 9th and 10th. So Friday and Saturday from 9 to 10 p.m., you said? 10 p.m.?
No. From
November 9th and 10th. Oh, 9 to 5. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the dates.
Yeah.
I'm getting confused. 9 and 10, I'm thinking, what? Okay,
9th to 10th, but from about 8 something until 5 something.
5 p.m. So 9 to 5 p.m. And you're going to learn.
Well, 8 to 5, I think it is. But we want to make sure that they have as much information as possible in those 2 days.
Yes.
And the attendees are going to be blown out of the water with what they learn. And
absolutely.
This is Get Your Brain Back Now. So for those that don't make it in that first 7 slots that you've offered, then they can go to www.acimevents.com to get a ticket to go.
Ticket to go, ACIM events, to get to go to this particular conference to get your brain back now. And
Right.
So the 7th caller or texter will win 2 tickets, 407-373-5959. Okay, so I'm looking at the registration starts at 7, but on the first day, we're going to start with the MC, which is Dr. Kaufman. And then you get to speak from 8 to 9:40 or 8:45. We've got Kelly Gallagher. There's so many beautiful people that are introducing, and so that you can wet your toe on what you don't know. And so the 7th caller, texter 407-373-5959. You and a friend can just get on a card, do a little happy day, and go and learn and treat your body. So let's talk about some of the things about the brain that we may not know is different than what we think. So I was told that when you have been diagnosed with dementia, you have dementia. But in learning from doctors like you, we hear that 70% of people that are diagnosed with dementia, Alzheimer's, do not have it. And they don't find out about it until they're gone, because they get to look at the brain. What are some of the things that you can share with us about Alzheimer's and dementia that we could reverse or we could prevent?
Both. You can reverse it and prevent it. And I'll just give a quick anecdote. I worked with a clinic that had a patient that came from Guatemala. He was a real estate agent. He had lost his way trying to go home one day, and he couldn't find his way home, even though he'd driven that route for 35 years. It's only about 3 or 4 miles from the office to the house, and he couldn't remember the names of his clients or the job that he was working on. So he's basically pretty severe dementia. He came to the clinic and went through a variety of therapies, and in 12 days he had a 70% improvement. And this is a combination of therapies, dietary change, supplemental nutrients, exercise with oxygen therapy, EEG neurofeedback, light sound therapy, magnetic therapy, and so on. So it's a combination of therapies that regenerated his brain in just 12 days.
Wow.
Now, he had a previous head injury about 30 years earlier, and so that was a big part of why he was getting dementia now. And a lot of people have had head injury and don't realize that it was significant. They didn't pass out completely. They just got a big bump on the head, and it caused the damage to the brain that keeps going on.
Wow. Okay. So with this gentleman in particular, he had a trauma to the brain. Now I've been told by, even Dr. Bennett Omalu, who was the one that named the condition that the NFL players were having. Dr. Omalu, I asked him, I said, well, once you have post-traumatic brain injury, which I was diagnosed from the accident that I had, I said, can you reverse it? And he said, no, you can't. But you're saying yes. So let's talk about that. What are things, you just finished going down that list. This gentleman that you're explaining that couldn't find his way back home, was that the only cause?
No. You can get Alzheimer's dementia, for example, from getting Lyme disease, or Lyme disease. A bacteria called Borrelia can get in the brain and cause inflammation and cause Alzheimer's dementia. Dr. Judith McCloskey in Switzerland proved that, and over the last many years, I've developed a herbal program that a patient could take at home empirically and get rid of Borrelia in the brain and elsewhere in the body. And so we know that therapy likely would reverse a lot of the Alzheimer's dementia in the country if people just knew what I just said.
Wow. And I know that Dr. Richard Horowitz absolutely adores you, and he's been on the show as an expert for Lyme disease as well. And now he's in Washington, D.C., changing the way the government looks at being part of the changes for the way we look at Lyme disease. So with us, we're constantly doing things and feeling, oh man, I forgot this. Sometimes I say, I just remember from minute to minute what I'm doing next because I'm so busy. What are some of the things that we're doing that could cause cognitive decline?
Well, for one of the worst things you can do is put a cell phone up to your head and not have any shielding around the cell phone, because the EMF that comes out of the cell phone disrupts the blood-brain barrier, causes the toxins that are in the bloodstream to easily go through what used to be the blood-brain barrier into the brain and toxify and poison the brain. Once the brain is toxified, then it's easy for viruses and bacteria and other microbes to grow in the brain and cause more and more inflammation.
Wow. So the cell phone right there. So I just purchased some ear tubes that don't have any metals in there so that it protects my brain, even though we think that we're having the corded to the phone and that we're okay. Those cords have metals that improve the sound quality, and that metal transfers the EMFs. That's what I heard. Is that true?
Well, the very best thing to plug into your ear would be a blue tube, not a Bluetooth. Okay?
No. This is Bluetooth. This is an air tube or whatever.
Yeah. So an air tube from the microphone, back down to the receiver, and also a speaker or a transducer that converts electrical energy into acoustic energy several inches away from your brain. And so that simple thing will help you to protect your brain.
Wow, just something simple like that. And that came from a change that, I'm like, okay, I'm not doing anything to aggravate my brain. So I completely made the change. It takes a little bit of adjustments, doesn't it? Because we're used to the sound quality from Bose. And now we have that bringing the sound quality into your ear. So that requires a little bit of changes. Right?
Yeah. Well, we're killing ourselves oftentimes for convenience, and it's not a good trade-off.
Yes. Okay. So we're talking about cell phones. What else are we doing to ourselves that could help, that aids or causes cognitive decline?
Well, yeah. So many people in this country have mercury amalgams in their teeth. Those are the black or gray fillings in the teeth that release mercury from the tooth every time you chew. And so that mercury gets into the air that you breathe, and gets absorbed through your lung lining into your bloodstream, or it's when you chew, some of the mercury gets into the saliva, gets swallowed, gets absorbed through your gut. But anyway, mercury has a propensity to go into the brain. And we know that patients that have Alzheimer's dementia have a much higher content of mercury in their brain than people that don't have Alzheimer's dementia. So just getting the mercury fillings out of your teeth can make a huge difference as far as your risk of developing Alzheimer's dementia in the future.
Wow. Okay. So I've had my amalgams removed, and it's amazing how my body is changing already. Okay. So number 3, what would be a third top abuse for our body?
It's probably the foods that we choose to eat. We call them foods, but they're frankenfoods for the most part. They're not foods like our great grandparents ate. It has partially hydrogenated vegetable oils and oxidized fats and very long chain fatty acids and all kinds of other stuff in there. Corn syrup modified, genetically modified foods. Blah, blah, blah. All those things are harmful to the health and harmful to the brain especially.
Yes, absolutely. So today we're giving away 2 tickets to the conference called Get Your Brain Back Now. It's in Orlando, Florida. And be the 7th caller or texter, 407-373-5959. And we're going to continue our conversation with Dr. Lee Cowden when we return worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. We'll be right here waiting for you. So another way you can get to the conference is through acimconnect.com, or is that just for the doctors?
If you go to ACM Connect, it'll give you a link to go to ACM events.
Correct.
But the public registration is on ACM events because it appeared to be simpler for the public to do that.
Okay, so I'm going to click on that one because what I did was I clicked on, it's practitioner. To see, it's sending me to the. Let me just change it to the events. Let's see. So I want to talk about the people that are going to be there and what they're going to talk about. So if you can go down the list real quick, and then we can talk about that on the air. And then Liberty Health Share is going to join us in a little bit. So let me get the ACIM events. There he is. There he is.
Good morning.
How are you?
Great.
Okay, you're in for a treat, Dale. This is Dr. Lee Cowden, and Dr. Lee Cowden is teaching doctors and how to be more integrative, functional.
Yes.
And so I don't know if it's you or if it's me, but I'm having a hard time hearing you. Let me see.
Make a little shift here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that better?
Yes, much better. Very good.
Good.
So today
Pleasure
is
to meet you, Dr. Cowden.
Yes.
Yeah, good to meet you too. I think we almost met when I came up to Cleveland a couple of years ago.
You met him?
Well, we came close to meeting, but it just didn't work out.
Oh. So where was that? What was that? Was it a conference or?
I went up there to teach some doctors, and was there a couple of days, and we were going to try to hook up with Liberty to learn more about it, but just didn't happen.
Oh, well, look at this. Everything happens for a reason. So today is voting day.
Yeah, it is.
Today's voting day. So we could either talk about brain health, or we can talk about what's happening that we need to know, because a lot of people are in the voting polls today.
I'd be delighted to chat, particularly as it relates to healthcare policy across America, for sure. And, that might be an area of interest for Dr. Cowden. That's
right. So, you're going to educate us today. This is a big day, and what are some of the things that we need to look at in the ballot? So before we go back on the air, Dr. Cowden, some of the talks, who are the tops that you're really excited about? Like on Friday, some of the conversations that are going to happen there, and on maybe Saturday. So when we come back, you can share a little bit about some of the talks that you were going to be listening to on for Friday and Saturday. And so we've got people who want the tickets for Orlando. They're like ready to go. They're ready to go to Orlando. So the conference is called Get Your Brain Back. So I was told, Dr. Cowden, that once you have degenerative disease in your brain, you're done. You're cooked. It's it. You're going to take that pill for the rest of your life, and you're going to die a miserable death. But you're saying that that's not true. We don't have to.
No, it's not true. The brain can regenerate, and we've seen some amazing things in the doctors that I teach. But one of the more amazing things was about 20 years ago, there was a child in Japan who had to have half of his brain removed with a tumor. He was, I think, an infant at that moment. But anyway, they did a lot of training and teaching, and over the next 4 or 5 years, the child it was able to run and play and think and do anything that any kid would do. So the other half of the brain took over.
But they say the left brain and the right brain have different functions. Was the brain regenerate to both sides?
Well, a lot of the functions that were necessary to allow the child to function in life were restored by what we call neuroplasticity, the connections that were developed from the brain to the periphery of the body allowed the motor function, the sensory function, all those other things that the doctor said he'd never have.
Wow. Okay, I think we're about to get started. Brian, how much time do we have?
5959. Once again, here's Lillian.
Welcome back to the Lillian McDermott radio show, where you can hear us worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. And soon, once we figure out what's going on with the Facebook Live, we're going to be able to listen to us Facebook Live early in the morning at 8 o'clock. I'm so excited about that. But we need to figure out what's causing the little kinks. The first time it was fine, but the next time it just hasn't happened. But we're gonna conquer. We're going to conquer, because this is information that is powerful information that will set us free. And that's what we talk about on the show. We talk about ways to take ownership of our life. No matter what's been done to us, we get to realize that it was for us. It was given to us as a gift, so we can go to that next level of understanding. These are the conversations that we have, mind, body, spirit, for our life at whenyouneedafriend.com. So I want to ask you to go to whenyouneedafriend.com. Please become a subscriber. When you do, you get all sorts of gifts, and the show, the podcast, the audio gets sent to your email. Wherever you want to listen to it, you can listen to it. Also, when you go to whenyouneedafriend.com, there's a lot of little buttons, and some of them are for social media, and some of them are for YouTube and podcasts. So click on those, follow me on social media, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. During YouTube is the channel that when we put it up on the air, you get the on and off the air conversations that we don't have time to talk about on the air. So I want to encourage you to do both. And also you can go to, while you're there, is my big favor that I ask of you, because the show is free because of the generosity of our sponsors. And if it weren't for our sponsors, this show would not happen. So I ask that you go to whenyouneedafriend.com, click on my sponsors page, and figure out how you can support my sponsors the way they are supporting the show. And so today we have Liberty Health Share that's going to be joining us shortly, and we're going to talk about how they are changing the way healthcare is happening. And that's Liberty Health Share with Douglas, and we'll be having them soon. But for now, the 7th caller or texter will win 2 tickets to Get Your Brain Back Now conference. It's in Orlando, Florida Hotel Conference Center, November 9th and 10th. And this is a $200 ticket. So this is a $400 value. So I want to encourage you to call 7th caller, 407-373-5959, caller or texter. Now, Dr. Cowden, while we were off the air, we were talking about the conference and some of the highlights that, all the doctors that are there are unbelievably talented, and most of them you've taught. And so what are some of the highlights that are must listen to when you go to the conference?
Yeah, well, we don't get to get Dietrich Klinghardt at our conferences very often because he's a world traveler, but he's going to be there this time, and he's going to teach us how retroviruses are linked to autism, multiple sclerosis, schizophrenia, and many other neurological conditions. And
let's explain retrovirus and the importance of retrovirus, because I've interviewed Judy Mikovich, and that's the first time I had heard of a retrovirus. So let's talk a little bit about why that's important.
Yeah, well, retroviruses are RNA viruses that are similar to the virus that causes, that is thought to cause AIDS, the HIV virus, and the human immunodeficiency virus is a RNA virus, a retrovirus. But the ones I'm talking about are not HIV. They're less virulent forms of viruses, but they still can cause a lot of inflammation in the body, immune suppression, and genetic mutations. And so Dr. Klinghardt is going to talk to our group about how that leads to neurological diseases and psychiatric diseases and how it can be reversed.
And where do we find these retroviruses?
Well, they're in vaccines, they're in blood transfusions, they're in saliva. When we have French kissing, they're transmitted by sexual intercourse. There's a variety of ways, or by insect bites even. So they're transmitted by a variety of ways. And so a lot of people have these and don't know they have these and are having effects on their health from these, and it's just basically getting ignored by the allopathic medical community.
And so he's going to talk about how we can regain our health back by conquering these viruses, eliminating them from our body.
Right. Yeah. And Doug Kaufman is the MC for the first day. He's also the host of the Know the Cause TV show. And Doug is brilliant as far as his knowledge about fungus. He's been studying fungus for the last 30 years, I think. And he's going to talk about how funguses contribute to neurological diseases. And so that's going to be a fascinating talk also.
Interesting. And so Dr. Kaufman is going to be the MC starting off on Thursday morning. And so then after that, let's talk about anybody else that you would like to highlight.
Yeah, well, on Friday, we also have Kelly Gallagher. She's not a doctor. She's a layperson who had lymphoma years ago, had lots of chemotherapy and radiation, had a bone marrow transplant, had hundreds of blood transfusions, and developed iron poisoning from the blood transfusions. So she lost her brain function as a result of that, and then how she's going to talk to us how she got her brain function back.
Yeah. Kelly Gallagher was on our show a couple of times last year announcing the Doctors Who Rock conference, and so this is not just this whole conference isn't just for the general public, which the general public is the 9th and 10th. But let's talk about how doctors are learning. If there's a healthcare practitioner, whether they're a DC, a naturopath, acupuncturist, how are we all learning, or is this all for MDs only?
No. For on the 9th and the 10th, we have Get Your Brain Back Now, and that's specifically for the public. So the presenters will present that in a way where it's not so over their head, and where the public can get it and use it and benefit from it, and share it with others, share the information they learn with others, and make a difference in people's lives. That's the goal of the public conference, is to help people to get their hope back and get their life back, and get their brain back, and so I think that the conference will clearly accomplish that. We have some amazing presentations, amazing speakers.
And if we have some healthcare practitioners that would like to join, there's another side of the conference that starts on the 8th, 9th, and 10th for healthcare practitioners. Can you share a little bit about that, Dr. Cowden?
Yes, the 8th, 9th, and 10th is called Brain Regeneration, and we have a different set of presenters. There's a few that overlap between the two, but there's a different set of presenters for the health professional conference, and this is going to be on a very practical level for the health professionals. How do you help a patient that has a specific condition? What do you do first? What do you do second? What do you do third? And we're going to have a session on Saturday late afternoon where we put it all together. So all the presentations up to that point are individual presentations about how do you do something specifically related to electromagnetic therapy or EEG neurofeedback or brain state technology or any number of other things that most allopathic doctors haven't even heard of. And so then the Saturday afternoon is putting it all together.
Very good. And that is if you're a healthcare practitioner and you want to become certified, I could do it. And I'm not a healthcare practitioner. If I wanted to do it for myself, you can go to acimconnect.com, acimconnect.com, or you can just let me know you want information and I'll send it to you. I'll even connect you to Lisa. And so for those of you who would like to be a participant for the public conference, which is Get Your Brain Back Now, be the 7th caller or texter, 407-373-5959. We're going to shift gears right now. We have Del Billis in the house. I'm so excited because today we get to vote. We get to vote. And so Del of Liberty HealthShare, the founder and chairman of Liberty HealthShare, I'm so grateful that you're here. Welcome, Del.
It is such a pleasure, Lillian. Thank you so much for the invitation. And this is a very historic day in our nation. We need to obviously participate as citizens and go to the polls and let our conscience as well as ideals be known, and really pursue support of candidates that support the kinds of values that we believe in our everyday lives. And so it's really crucial that we express our voice.
Is there anything in the ballot today that we need to be aware that is urgent that we vote on?
From my perspective in the arena of healthcare policy, there is a great wave of candidates supporting a nationalistic, socialistic medical approach to meeting healthcare costs in America. It goes under different names: single payer, Medicare for all. But what they're referring to is socialistic medicine.
Yes.
Where all the private choices and private options are swept away in favor of a nationalistic, government-provided, government-managed and paid for healthcare system. And we just need to let our voice be heard in America today that a candidate who supports that option, we've got to let our voices be known and send the message. Yeah. We don't want socialistic medicine.
We don't, and we don't know what it's like. It sounds good. So did communism. It sounded good, but it wasn't. And we're going to continue our conversation. Be the 7th caller or texter, 407-373-5959, and win 2 tickets to the conference this weekend. We're going to continue our conversation with Dr. Lee Cowden and Dale Billis of Liberty HealthShare when we return worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. We'll be right here waiting for you. Yes, if we don't know our past, we are going to repeat it.
Repeat it, absolutely.
And that's the thing. We are being so dumbed down, Dale, and I'd love for you to address this. We're being so dumbed down with what do you want to call it? It's like a distraction.
Yeah.
It's an illusion. It's a distraction, and we're going for this. But then what's happening down here is very deceiving. Would you like to share anything about that?
Yeah, you're precisely right. It is diversionary.
Yes.
It's cloaking the discussion in terms that sound appealing. For instance, just that term, single payer. Mm-hmm. Whenever that term is tried out in different focus groups, people respond. There's been national polls that have said single payer, oh, I'd support that, 70%. But the public doesn't understand what that term means. They think when they hear the term single payer, they're thinking, oh, this is a way to bring about efficiency in healthcare. Have just a single organization, manage the payment system so that we eliminate waste and unnecessary administrative overhead, et cetera. And so they don't understand the term single payer as socialistic medicine.
Yes.
The same way with the phrase Medicare for all. It sounds compassionate. It sounds like we're really reaching out to those in need and we're really assisting those who need it. But we need to cut through those distracting kinds of terminologies and be perceptive and informed and knowledgeable and understand they're talking about socialism in medicine, and we have to resist it.
If socialism was so good, why do people from socialist countries come over to the United States to receive our care? And we may not have, all that we need. I love that Liberty Health Share embraces a more holistic approach to healing.
Yes.
I am so grateful to Liberty Health Share. And I think that that's why the combination with Liberty Health Share and the Lillian McDermott radio show has been so favorable. I've had so many people, Dale, call me and thank me for you being my sponsor. And I'm like, okay, well, no, we need to thank Liberty Health Share for that. So, and for those of you who are watching on YouTube, if you live in the United States, I mean, I don't know if this is worldwide, but at least in the country, call 855-58-LIBERTY. That's 855-585-4237 with Liberty Health Share, or you can go to libertyhealthshare.org. And I'll repeat that in a few so that if I think it's great with YouTube, you can just pause it. You can pause it. But when we're live, it's going to be harder. So I want to be able to make sure we, and Brian, I can't hear the music. So if it started, just let me know. There we go. And I have a little delay.
Be a friend. You can count on me. I'll be right here waiting for you.
You can text Lillian McDermott or leave her a voicemail at 407-373-5959. Once again, here's Lillian.
Welcome back to the Lillian McDermott radio show, where we always learn and grow together. Today's teachers are Dr. Lee Cowden, and he is coming to Orlando, Florida, which is very, very close to where we all live. If you live in the central Florida, or if you live anywhere around the world, worth the trip. Go to call at 407-373-5959 to win, be the 7th caller or texter to win two tickets. But if you are listening from all over, and you can just go to ACIM Connect, or for the event, if you don't win the tickets, you can go to acimevents.com, and then you'll be able to get your tickets, reserve your spot, because they are selling quick. They're selling quick, and how wonderful that Dr. Lee Cowden is being so generous. Thank you so much, Dr. Cowden, for your generosity. We are also talking to Del Billis, the founder and chairman of Liberty Health Share. We talked about how it is so important that we not hook into the illusion of this single payer and what it means. And so off the air, that's what Dale was talking about. But before I bring Del Billis on, I want to encourage you, if you want to learn about Liberty Health Share and how, I walked away from insurance a long time ago, and I went towards Liberty Health Share. And Liberty Health Share, I'm a member. I'm a proud member, but Liberty Health Share is also a sponsor of the Lillian McDermott radio show. And for you, if you want to learn more, you can go to libertyhealthshare.org. That's libertyhealthshare.org. You can also call 855-58-LIBERTY. That's 855-585-4237. Thank you, Del Billis, for always sharing wonderful information. You had said off the air that people just don't know what a single payer is. It sounds good, but it's an illusion and a distraction. Share a little bit more.
Yeah, it is troublesome, and frequently the discussion centers around what government can provide to solve problems in the healthcare system. Mm-hmm. And they use such terms as single payer or Medicare for all. And we need to, as citizens, be alert, be informed, be knowledgeable as to the meaning behind those terms, because single payer is about government-controlled, government-paid-for healthcare. And when it's put in that context, the overwhelming response of Americans are absolutely not. We don't want a socialized medicine system here in America that would sweep away every private choice and every option and opportunity that we have to pursue our own interests or values regarding our health care. So for those candidates espousing those kinds of solutions, we need to give a resounding no at the voting booth today.
Absolutely. How can we discover that, Dale? How do we know?
We have to be informed as citizens. We have to find out what candidate is supporting and espousing and promoting that kind of an idea, and just on the basis of really imposing on America a system that we see in other jurisdictions, like the United Kingdom, where in 2017, the Red Cross said, I didn't, political pundits didn't say it, the Red Cross said that the national health system in the UK was a human rights disaster. Mm-hmm. We don't want to repeat those kinds of mistakes and maintain our freedom, our opportunities, our choices in the arena of healthcare. That's why I love what Dr. Cowden does. Yes. We at Liberty Health Share encourage and support integrative medicine, functional medicine. There seems to be a crossover or at least a coordination in many respects between direct primary care physicians and functional medicine. We encourage our members to break through this flaw in the current healthcare system that's focused on illness and instead find a relationship with a healthcare provider that supports health, that supports prevention, and integrative medicine and functional medicine combined with direct primary care breaks through that particular flaw, both of them, frankly, the third-party pay system, because I'm directly paying for my access to that direct practitioner, and secondly, the sick care. We've got to focus on the care of our health, not simply see a doctor because we're sick.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the principles of Liberty Health Share compared to what insurance does, because, I know that when I became a member, I had so much control of where I could go, and it was scary at first. I will admit that it was scary for me. I still remember that feeling of walking away from what I was taught I needed to do and going towards Liberty Health Share, which is a health share it's health share as opposed to sick care. So let's talk about how Liberty Health Share is different.
Well, we are just a nationwide nonprofit association of men, women, families who all unite around the cause of paying each other's medical bills. Mm-hmm. And we do that without the help of an insurance company or the government, just a regular, systematic way of meeting healthcare costs in a like-minded community of faith and values where my money goes to another person. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's called health sharing. Literally every month, my money goes to another member who has medical bills. I can message them with cheer, with encouragement, with prayer, and we support each other during sometimes the biggest crises of our lives. And Lillian, we've been in the general public or in general society, been taught for decades that the only way to meet healthcare costs is through health insurance. Yeah. And we're just here to say there's a whole different way. There's a different methodology where people gather together on the basis of their shared values and beliefs and voluntarily, cooperatively pay each other's medical bills. And it's cost efficient, it's cost effective, but it is expressive of our values. And primarily being health conscious and health focused, because we believe our bodies are temples. We're created beings, yes, and we have a moral and spiritual obligation to care for our health.
Absolutely. And so for those of you who are just tuning in and discovering Liberty Health Share, they are Affordable Care Act exempt, and they are truly affordable for an entire family. How much is an entire family to become a member? And what are the parameters? So just to say an entire family, you're driving around and you're saying, okay, it's going to cost like $2,000 or whatever, and that's catastrophic. So how much is it a month?
Every month we ask a family to set aside $529. And that's the amount of money that goes into that secure account that then is matched to another person with medical bills. Mm-hmm. And we, out of our own pockets every year, with our membership year, as a family, are responsible for the first $2,250. Mm-hmm. And we call that our annual unshared amount because we're all self-pay patients, responsible for our care, responsible for our costs, but we pay that $2,250 out of our pockets. and then the sharing of the members picks up at that point, and shares in $1 million for
per
every
incident
that occurs.
Yes.
If
And
I have a
so,
heart attack, that's an incident. All the doctor visits, hospital stays, surgeries, medications for that condition up to $1 million.
yes.
And that occurs for any incident, and there's no limit on the number of incidents.
That's right. And so a family is considered a mother and a father. And if you have 20 kids, 20
Mom,
kids.
Dad, no kids. We don't count more than 3.
Okay. And so that's what Liberty Health Share is about. And for those of you who've learned about it, I love it. Absolutely love it. 855-58-LIBERTY. That's 855-585-4237. You got to think outside the box or live outside the box, because that's where life begins. That's where all the magic happens, and where you say, no longer am I going to be dumbed down by what I'm being told is real. And so Liberty Health Share, go check it out yourself, libertyhealthshare.org. Dale, so grateful to you for everything that you're doing with Liberty Health Share. I am so thankful. And also with you.
Well, thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to meet Dr. Cowden. I so honor his work and focus and orientation toward healthcare.
Wonderful. And Dr. Lee Cowden, thank you. I look forward to seeing you this weekend at Get Your Brain Back Now. And thank you so much, Dr. Cowden.
Thank you, Lillian.
And this is Lillian McDermott wishing you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day ever. Good job. Good job. Something happened to Dale. We lost him, and I know he loves to say ever. So he always gives this resounding ever miss that. Dr. Cowden, this is great. I'm looking forward to spending time with you this weekend and learning more about the wonderful good news that I'm going to experience with Liberty, with at the ACIM conference called Get Your Brain Back Now. Thank you, Dr. Cowden. I know you're busy and you're going to get started on your ways over here. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care now.
Yeah. Is there anything that you would like to add? Is there anything that you would like to say that is dear to your heart about this conference? One last final word.
Well, yeah, so many people are given no hope or help by the allopathic medical community. And in almost every case, there is hope in integrative medicine. But the allopathic medicine group said that they don't say it the way they should. They say there is no hope for your condition. What they should say is, I know of nothing that can help you, but go search. There may be an answer. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes the answer is what the parents found in Lorenzo's Oil movie. So if people are watching haven't seen the Lorenzo's Oil movie, they should watch that.
Yes. Which one?
Lorenzo's Oil.
Lorenzo's Oil. Yes, absolutely. That's a great movie. And for those of you who are watching, you're still watching, I want to ask you to help. Share this video. Give it the thumbs up. Help this information get out even more than it is already. Help us grow. Dr. Cowden, thank you for being a part of the teachers on the Lillian McDermott radio show that have changed our perspective from victim to empowered. If we give the body what it needs, it will heal for the most part. Mind, right. Body, spirit.
That's right.
I love, Dr. Cowden, when you say, if you just heal the mind or the spirit, the body will be very inexpensive to heal the body, right?
That's right.
I love that. I love that. And so I get to share that with you this weekend. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. I look forward to our next conversation. Bye.
Right. Bye-bye.